Hey, what's up, folks? This is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. Today's video is going to be all about THORChain and the RUNE token. So if you haven't heard about THORChain yet, this one's been making some waves lately. It has been going up, 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 and I figured I needed to do a video on this one and see what this project is all about. I will say right up front, this one's kind of technical and maybe a little bit hard to follow, so I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. But they do have some great resources out there. If you have any further questions after this video, I'll be sharing that info at the end, so stick around for that. So as always, we'll give you a thorough review on what THORChain is, how it's used, who potentially founded it, and where we think this project is headed by year-end 2021, all right? So stick around till the end. Lots of great info in here, as always, with THORChain today. So make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you click the bell, you'll be made aware whenever I post time-sensitive content just like this. And now, let's get it going. So what is THORChain? Well, at its simplest, THORChain is a decentralized liquidity protocol that allows users to exchange assets across multiple networks without losing custody of the asset, all right? So for those who are unfamiliar with this, users often experience temporary losses when contributing to liquidity protocols. So THORChain solves this problem. So how does it work? Well, users simply swap one asset for another in a permissionless setting without relying on order books to source liquidity. So prices are then maintained through the ratio of assets in the pool. Now, behind the scenes, THORChain is using on-way state pegs, a state machine, the Bifrost signer module, and a TSS protocol to seamlessly facilitate cross-chain swaps. Now, I'm not going to get into all that for the sake of this video. So, if you're still with me, breaking it down even further, developers work for the nodes by shipping code that makes the system more valuable. Nodes, they're the different points in the decentralized network, work for the stakers by being online and securing the assets. Stakers bring capital placed on market for the swappers, and swappers pay fees bringing economic activity, okay? So for a little background, here's where it gets interesting. THORChain has no defined founders, no CEO, and no directors. So development of the platform is solely organized through GitLab, with those working on the project anonymous. So per representative of THORChain, the person states that this is to protect the project to ensure it can decentralize. Now, I've got to admit, this is the part of THORChain that really piques my interest. The anonymity reminds me of Bitcoin, okay? Now, what's also interesting is that the platform is not profit-oriented. All generated profit goes to the users, not the team behind it. So the team is therefore encouraged to hold RUNE just like everyone else. So for some recent news here, THORChain launched the multi-chain Chaosnet on April 13th, which is basically their mainnet in the initial phase. Now this enables cross-chain swaps available for the 5 active chains, and you can access THORChain through, we have THORSwap interface, we have ASGARDEX desktop client, or ASGARDEX web interface. Now, as long as the safeguards are in place to make sure it is safe, secure, and reliable, it will be the Chaosnet. Now, when they're ultimately removed, it will become the mainnet. Now, what they have planned for the mainnet includes adding synthetics, so secure base layer assets, composites, this is Thor.USD, Thor.DeFi, etc. We have loans, more chains, and removal of safeguards, an example of which is liquidity caps. Now with the update, RUNE is now native to THORChain, so integration with the ledger and wallets is expected pretty much from late April, which has already happened, to May, okay? Now all interfaces will provide the ability to upgrade RUNE from Ethereum or BNB, but that at this point there's no immediate need. Now, in order to use any of the interfaces, you would need to set up a wallet. And in order to provide liquidity, you would need to fund your wallet with RUNE. So for more on this update, visit medium.com/THORChain. You can find out more there. So let's talk token. So the native utility token of THORChain is RUNE. As I mentioned earlier, RUNE is available as an ERC20 token on Ethereum, a BEP2 token on Binance, and now as a native token on THORChain. Now, RUNE is used for liquidity, where it's required to be provided alongside of every asset in the pool. So as RUNE is bonded to the assets in the pool, as they go up in value, RUNE also goes up in value. It then uses incentives to ensure security of those assets. So RUNE is then worth 3 times the value of pooled assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or BNB. Now, we also have security, we have governance, we have incentives, and amplifier. Now, as THORChain is built using Cosmos SDK and Tendermint consensus mechanism, RUNE is proof of stake. Okay, so you can stake this one. Now, as of today, THORChain is ranked number 40 with a market cap of 4.1 billion, with a circulating supply of 235 million tokens out of 500 million tokens. Price as of this recording is $17.57. I was originally going to do this recording yesterday. I didn't get a chance to finish. The price was lower then, so sorry. Price has gone up a little bit since. So out of the total supply, now 20 million tokens were sold during the initial exchange offering. 130 million tokens were sold in earlier funding rounds. 50 million tokens were allocated for the team. And THORChain has an emission curve starting at 30% APR scheduled to target around 2% after 10 years. Now, if we insert the chart here, you can see that RUNE kicked off 2021 at $1.29, meaning that it has done a 13.62x so far this year. So if we insert the zoomed out trading view chart here, you can see that if RUNE followed the same trend, it would finish the year somewhere between $62.28 and potentially up to $75 or so. So price prediction from here is a 3.5 to 4.25x. So with what this one has already done this year, this would be a monster year for THORChain, okay? Now, where you can find RUNE includes Binance, the Binance DEX, SushiSwap, Uniswap, or you can also try and get it on Trust Wallet by swapping BNB for RUNE, okay? Now, if you still have any questions about THORChain, as I mentioned earlier, resources are available through their platform known as LP University, either on Discord or you can also check it out on Twitter. They do have multiple Twitter pages here for THORChain. Like I said, it's a very interesting project. It's basically like a decentralized project. There's no leader, there's no head, everybody's anonymous, there's multiple websites. But they are making some serious waves in what they are developing and what they have built here. And it does kind of make you wonder, you know, with everybody being anonymous, if they'll be able to continue to do that through however long through the life of this project. To be determined, right? But the bottom line here is that THORChain has a lot going on with this liquidity. I understand this is very technical. A lot of people may have a hard time following this. I get that. But the main thing you need to know is the chart. We also have the staking, and there's even more that you can do here with THORChain. So there are a lot of benefits to this one. That's why it's making some massive waves, and that's why the market cap continues to go higher and higher. As I mentioned yesterday, the market cap was 3.7 billion. Today it's 4.1. It could keep going up, folks. You know, that's what happens with the good coins here. So THORChain, very interesting project. Definitely have a look into it. As I mentioned, if you have questions, check out LP University or go to Twitter because there's a lot of great info there. Or you can also check them out on medium.com/THORChain. All right, so that's it for today's video on THORChain. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. As always, don't forget that I'm also on Twitter at KIR Finance, where I'm tweeting and retweeting on a regular basis. Check me out there. And for a friendly reminder, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. And I will see you on the next one. Later.